In January of 1989, I flew from Los Angeles to Beijing, China. I did this on behalf of our general director for the mission that we were with. And I was visiting a group of Christian workers who were in the northwest part of that country, of China. So I was given the name of this businessman who was an acquaintance of the general director and his general address. By that I mean I was given the apartment building that he lived in. There was like a hotel and an apartment building, condominium, and a school. It was kind of a little community, foreign community, and that's where this person lived. And so I had his name and his general address, and that was it. Well, and I knew the city where these folks were working on the other side of the country, so that's all I had. So I got into China in the old airport there in Beijing, as it turns out, and it was late at night. It was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock. It was dark, and all the different uh, things were closed. There was no way to get any money or whatever. It was just like there I was. So I I thought, well, maybe somebody would take pity if I said, you don't want to see a grown man cry, right? You're going to help me. I tried with a couple of people that I thought would speak English, and no success. And finally, I saw this older couple. They were talking with a gentleman, and I could hear the English. And this guy with his Texan accent was talking to this his host, as it turns out. So I approached them and I asked, could they help me? And want to explain, I just needed some help knowing where this place was. And they could see that everything was closed. The Texas farmer uh, didn't want anything to do with me and tried to push me away, just to, tell me that they weren't interested or whatever. But his host said, just a minute. He said, he turns to me and he said, I will help you. Just wait here. So he turned to the man, and over his sort of implied protest, at least, he took him out to his. He said, "I'll take you to the car and send you on your way, and I'll join you a little later." So off this couple went, and he turns to me. This man, and Mr. Wang, as it turns out, turns to me and says, "Okay, so you want to go to the certain place? I know where that is." Okay. So we got in the back of this limousine. I mean, it was incredible, and we're way back in the back, sitting there. And he said, "I'll take you there." And we drove. I don't even know how long it was, but we got there. And he said, "No, what you want to do is go right up to here, and it was actually the hotel entrance, and you tell them you want the apartment building by the same name, and he will take you back there, and then you can find the floor that's the apartment building that your friend is in." So I thanked him for that, and that was really a great relief to know that I was at least in the right place. But I asked him, I said, "Sir, Dr. Wang, um, can I ask why you helped me? I mean, I'm delighted you did. Thank you so much. Why did you help me?" And he said, "Well, I want you to have a good experience in my country, and I hope this is a good start." I said, "Thank you, sir." So he gave me his card, and off I went. I found the apartment and stayed there for a day or two until I could make my flight connection to where I was going across the country. Now, just to fast forward here a little bit, when I got back from my time in the western part of the country, the owner of the flat, the man who had owned it or rented it, was back, and I told him my story, and he said, "Well, he gave you his card?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, can I see it?" I said, "Sure." So I handed it to him, and he goes, "Oh, Jim, this man is the deputy minister of agriculture for the entire nation of China, over 1 billion people." And he said he is set to become the chairman or the primary person there, no longer the deputy. He will be the minister of agriculture for the country. And I said, well, he was very helpful, and I sure appreciated it. So that was my introduction to China, and more to follow as I make this flight across the country and back, and then have a little bit of an experience touring. There was a guy who was teaching English as a second language, was going home, and he and I were able to tour Beijing together, and that was quite an experience all by itself. But in any event, I got help. I got pretty high up in the government to get me to my location, and in all honesty, I really don't know what I would have done without his help. But it doesn't matter, does it? Because I got it, and I'm thankful to the Lord for that provision. He could have been an angel, but I did seem to have a name and an occupation. But that great story. Thank you, Lord, for that provision. Amen.